Oh yes, let me show you one more that I have, which is this one, Blue Underground, Stendhal Syndrome. This is the 3-disc set. Is it 3 discs? Yeah, 3-disc set. So you've got 2 discs here, and then you've got the 3rd disc here. Now, so yes, you've got disc 1, which has the film. And let's see. Yes, you've got disc 1, which is the film, and I think you've also got it on DVD. And then you also have a 3rd disc, which sets forth 2007 featurettes, which I think are just a supplementary material that were available, or material that was available on a previous release of this film. This was a real surprise to me, I must say. I remember seeing this for the first time when it was it was released in the mid-90s, I believe, and there was a lot of interesting press about the film at the time. I remember, I think I was reading Fangoria magazine, and I think it was Fangoria magazine that was really showcasing this film before its release. It was Dario Argento's big return to Italy after he had gone to America and tried to make a splash there with the film Trauma, and I think Two Evil Eyes, and they weren't maybe they weren't as well loved as some of his earlier films. So he came back to Italy and the Italian film industry, and he came up with this. It was a bit of a disappointment when I first saw it all those years ago, but when I saw it on this release, I was amazed how much I was riveted by it. It is a disturbing film. It is very graphic. Some parts of it are just unbelievably disturbing. I can't begin to tell you. And I don't mean in terms of the violence, but I mean in terms of the concepts that are being dealt with. There's a lot of unpleasantness, but it's done. There are other parts of it that are very fascinating and interesting. A lot of visual techniques that are quite bold, and it feels like a giallo. I'm not sure if it qualifies as a giallo, but it feels like a giallo. And what I mean by that, it feels like it's a murder mystery and it has twists and turns, but somehow it doesn't feel like a giallo because it feels like it's more of a psychological horror film or psychological drama, even about the effects of severe and violent trauma and how one deals with that issue of trauma. It's quite a fascinating film. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but I will admit to feeling more positive about the film as a whole, as a viewing experience, than I had felt about the film previously. Anyway, this is Stendhal Syndrome. All right. Well, I think that's it as far as my Argento films go. I should note that as of the time of this recording, which is May 11th or May 12th, 2018, I believe that there are some releases that are scheduled to be had in the future. So when I'm talking about, I think the film Terror at the Opera is supposed to be released soon. I'm not sure when, but it's supposed to be released, hopefully by Shameless Entertainment. And also the film Two Evil Eyes is supposed to get a release. So when those come out, if and when those come out, I'd like to look at those, and especially opera. I really love opera, but also Two Evil Eyes. The film Two Evil Eyes is one that I'm very lukewarm about. When I first saw it way back when, I haven't seen it since. So it'll be interesting to look at that film again now that I'm older, and there's some considerable distance between myself and the time that I saw the film Two Evil Eyes. So that should be very interesting. Yes, as for his other films, the later films, The Card Player, Do You Like Hitchcock? Mother of Tears. Uh, I'm sorry. I really don't like them. It pains me. Dracula. I haven't seen Dracula, but I saw a trailer for Dracula, and I thought it was a bit much. I saw the film Giallo, and I really didn't like it very much at all. I thought it was just bereft of any value or ideas that I think make Argento one of the great artists of our time. Not just a horror film director, but really a genuine bona fide artist. Um, I hope he finds his mojo, because I'm always welcome to watch a good film from him, and I always want him to succeed. Oh yes, of course, the one film that I do like of his that I don't have is the film Non Ho Sono, Sleepless. I really like that film very much. It stars Max von Sydow as a detective, and it has some interesting concepts in that film, lots of twists and turns, which are indicative of a really good and effective giallo film. I don't know why I don't have it. I should have it. Maybe there's a good Blu-ray release of that somewhere. If you have any suggestions regarding Sleepless or any other Argento film, I'd like to hear about it. Anyway, those are just some things of note that I have in my collection with regard to Italian horror, and specifically with regard to Dario Argento. Thank you very much for your time.